Hi everybody, welcome to our new home. It is a show called Shop Gemistry with Paul and Judy.
Now who are Paul and Judy? Who the heck are those guys?
Or is it Paul and Judy? Anyway, we're so excited to be here with you, and if you have ever flipped around on your channels and landed on a shopping channel, the likelihood of your recognizing these two faces is very high. Mm-hmm. But if you have not ever landed on a shopping channel, then maybe we are brand new to you. My name is Judy Crowell.
And I'm Paul Deasy, and if you landed on me, you probably flipped the channel already. No, but it's funny because we've been in the business for 30 years.
Yeah, can you believe that? This year, it's 30 years.
And for the most part, we were with shopping channels. And when they started, it said, we're going to change the way that you shop. Well, we're going to change it again.
We are. We have some very special things to be able to share with you, which we think will entice you to watch every show we ever do. And one of the things that we were never able to say when we were in the business on the shopping channels was, you know what? Free shipping to send it to you. And it's no risk, because if you change your mind or it wasn't what you thought it was going to be, free shipping to return it.
Free shipping, free returns.
Free shipping, free returns. It's going to be something that you hear a lot from us during our programming. But we also, more importantly, have gorgeous jewelry. We're focusing on jewelry. Mm-hmm. We have silver, we have gold, and it's all catered around gemstones.
Okay, well, let's get started.
Okay, shall we?
Yes.
So we wanted to start, actually, Paul said, I really want you to take the lead on this because this is so you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we're starting with a bold ring that is abalone. Abalone, and it's a doublet, so you're seeing all that beautiful sparkle because of the clear crystal quartz on the top of the stone. And then on the sides, not just one stone represented, but two. It's got both amethyst and blue topaz.
Now, it's easy to order when you're Shop Gemistry. It's either shopgemistry.com, which will be the website where you can get all of your orders fulfilled, or dial that toll-free number at the bottom of your screen. But let's talk a little bit about abalone, because I think this is one of the most underpriced and underrated gemstones on planet Earth. Mm-hmm. And here's why. This is one of what we call the organic gemstones. That means it comes from a living being. In this case, it's an abalone shell, which is a sea snail. This is what it looks like when you harvest this. Now, they're not harvesting this just for jewelry. It's actually a food source. It's primarily a food source that comes from what's called a sea snail. And you take a look at all of this iridescence on this, but what I wanted you to notice is how curved this is. When we are using this for the purposes of jewelry, you get pieces that look like this. And you realize when you see how curved the surface is, how much waste there is when you try and make even a ring the size that Judy's demonstrating right now.
Yeah, I mean, it really shows. And there's so much waste because not all of it are the beautiful colors of the purples and greens and blues that are really indigenous to that shell. And that's what the lapidary is trying to pull forth. But the other thing about this shell is that just as any of us have walked on a seashore or walked on the sand, shelling as they call it, you know how fragile a shell can be. So that's one of the things that we love about doublets. And what I was telling you before, and I'll show you a little bit of this profile, is that the abalone shell is on the bottom. But what the designer did, what the lapidary did, is cut it in such a way that the faceted clear crystal quartz, and I still don't know how they do this because it's such a trick to be able to adhere one gem to another without seeing any of the adhering materials that are used. Mm-hmm. So that's why it gives it durability, it gives it tremendous sparkle, just like a precious gemstone. And then we should really talk also about the sides, because it's not only blooming from the ocean, it's blooming from the sides in really a botanical or organic way.
We have genuine Brazilian amethyst on either side, as well as blue topaz, also that hails from Brazil. Now, the item number on this one, if you can't see your screen, 946459. And the price, the manufacturer suggested retail price is $118.50. But because we are the manufacturers, for the first time in our careers in 30 years, we're coming directly from the mines to the factories that are ours to you. and it's $59.25.
Yeah, and that, by the way, is for over 8 carats in the abalone doublet. And then when it comes to the amethyst, there are 56 points of amethyst and 61 points of blue topaz. So you've got your February birthstone represented in the amethyst. We have our December birthstone represented, of course, in the blue topaz. And then any month of the year can choose to have their abalone as part of their birthstone array.
The thing that's funny is when you talk about abalone shell, it's also what I call in the family of those phenomenal gemstones, and here's why.
Yeah.
There's only 2 other things that can replicate the color that you're seeing in this abalone. One would be something called ammonite, and that comes from a fossil ammonite shell, and it's usually mined in Canada. And something even the size we have in your ring would be probably in the neighborhood of $1,000 or something like that.
Oh,
the only
exactly.
other thing that it looks like would be if anyone who's ever been lucky enough to see a lightning ridge black opal. Imagine this size in a black opal. Generally, you get lightning ridge black opal depending on the pattern. You can spend up to $3,000 wholesale per carat. And what was the carat weight you said on this?
Oh yeah, 8 carats, 18 points.
So we're pleased to give you this, something that's wearable every single day. And as Judy mentioned, it is protected by that quartz on top.
Yes.
And it's faceted, so it really illuminates that stone even better.
For people who love the opaque stones or love the bolder looks, like this is a bold ring. Oh, I know what I forgot to bring out.
What?
Maybe I can
Your
send
ruler?
Kelly to find it. Yes, yes, my ruler. I actually have 2, and you will laugh. I must tell you the story. So we're so used to being in this business and using a little 6-inch ruler to measure jewelry because you don't need a foot-long ruler to measure jewelry. So all we could find when we went shopping for these rulers was the 12-inch. You know, it's back to school time, so all the moms are looking for the wooden rulers to send to their kids with their kids back to school. So I said, no problem, Paul. I'm going to be the handyman that I usually am, and I'm going to go down. I'm going to saw it, you know, in half, and then I'll just file the edges. Well, he said, you better start with 7 inches so that you've got an inch to play with. So we've got 2 rulers, 7-inch and 6.5.
Judy is the little red hen, the little engine that could.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it would be fun because we're so used to, you know, part of my, even on my Facebook page, my handle is Judy Kroll Style. Because for me, it's not just an isolated thing to choose a piece of jewelry. It needs to fit into your wardrobe. So you'll see it goes with so many colors.
Item number 946459, and that is only $59.25.
So we thought it would be really fun because abalone looks beautiful in things other than rings. To give you sort of a follow-up, if you've fallen in love with the abalone shell. So in a pendant form, although the necklace does come with it, you're going to get an 18-inch long sterling silver chain with the 3-inch extender. Look at how that jumps off the screen. Isn't that glorious? And when you were showing before that beautiful abalone shell, thank you.
And
Which one did she give me, the 7 or 6.5?
You want the 7?
No, I have to show you. I actually cut it. Oh wait, other end. Look, I cut it to 6.5, just in case I needed that extra half-inch of flub.
All right.
Where else can you get a 6.5-inch?
Exactly.
Well, it's like what is it, 9.5-inch car on Harry Potter?
Yes. Train station 9.5.
9.5.
So while you're there, you can see how big this piece is. And again, we talked about the difficulty of a curved shell and getting a piece of jewelry like this. There's a tremendous amount of waste that is involved in working with a shell like this. But we reinforce that again with that crystal on top of that. But we also have some white topaz accents in the halo below it.
Yes, and that we thought would be fun to do because it just adds a little bit of extra sparkle. We didn't do the traditional halo all the way around. You'll see the bezel set, round, brilliant cut white topaz at the top. All of them are actually bezel set and round, brilliant cut, but they're graduated. And that's 85 points of white topaz.
And that's a 22 by 16 millimeter abalone shell. And also 16 by 22 millimeter crystal on top of that. Now people say, well, wait a minute, Paul. this is America. Why are you talking to me about millimeters? Well, actually, gemstones are a worldwide business. So when you're ordering a gemstone, generally it's by millimeter size, and then that's why we have Judy's fabulous ruler to translate
My 6.5-inch ruler.
that into what it is. But I didn't give you the price. So this is item number 944190, and the manufacturer's suggested retail price on this is $198. We have a limited number of these available, and it's only $99. And for such a big stone, remember, free shipping, free returns. The chain, and shame on me for not saying it if you say it, I said I
I just said what the length of it was, but yeah, this is a spectacular chain, and it's a wheat chain, so you get a kind of a nice beefy look to that chain. Also, it's not just a pendant. This is an enhancer, and if you're not familiar with what an enhancer is, it means that the bail on the top of the pendant opens. It's hinged on the bottom, and right here there's a little lip. You pull that lip up, and it opens up that bail so that you can slide it onto a beaded necklace. So if you happen to have a pearl necklace that you love, or a strand of beads that are done in perhaps lapis, or you have amethyst beads, even if you have turquoise beads, you could put that enhancer in between where the beads are, where it's knotted. And that's why I love them, because it makes it more versatile.
And all genuine gemstones, over 22 carats total gem weight. You also have a lot of silver weight in this, because it's not just the 18-inch necklace. We believe very strongly in the 3-inch extender.
We do, because then it gives people not only versatility as far as how it fits, but where they want to wear it, depending on what you're wearing. One other thing I wanted to mention to you too is keep in mind, with this new Shop Gemistry with Paul and Judy show, our new home, it's free shipping to send it to you, and free returns if you change your mind in that 30 days. So you're going to have a great experience with us. It's the first time we've ever heard of people being able to do that in a shopping situation.
Well, we have something really exciting to talk about now.
Yes, we do.
Because in our careers, we have sold, I'm sure, a lot of coral in our day.
Mm-hmm. Another one of the organic gems,
yes,
as a follow-up to the
organic
abalone.
gems, another gem from the sea, just like we're seeing here. But here's what makes it really exciting. If you've ever seen something that looks almost artificially red and really big in coral, generally that is compressed coral, and that has been dyed, has been dyed and treated in that way. We are offering you only completely natural, undyed coral. And actually, our ring is going to illustrate that for you, because what you're going to see is that we have, this is the range. Let me just put it this way. This is the range that you're going to see. One's a little bit lighter, one's a little bit darker.
So the silhouette is exactly the same.
Exactly.
The number of stones, the size of the stones, the fit. So if you buy a 5, it's going to fit in either color exactly the same. But it is important to know, because these are natural stones,
untreated.
There's a variety. You know, something that they've done beautifully though, Paul, and we point this out because we've been to so many, not only stone cutting facilities and also mines that we've been to, but it's an art to be able to not just cut the stones, but also to sort the stones. And I don't just mean exactly sorting for size, I mean sorting for color. So in either one, anywhere between this and this, you're going to have that range of color, but all of the stones will match.
Yeah, and that's, I call that the 5th C. Have you ever heard of color, cut, clarity, carat weight? The 5th C would be consistency.
Yeah.
And when you have a stone, a gem, where you have multiple rows and multiple stones, having that, if there was one that was out of sync with the other, it would stand out like the proverbial sore thumb. So again, I'm not doing my job with telling you what a great price we have.
And I'm not doing my job with my 6.5-inch ruler.
All right, so we're calling this an angel skin pink coral. It is 4.6 grams of sterling silver. We have 13 of the coral stones that are individually set in here. The manufacturer suggests the retail price is $180, and that is even a steal for genuine, undyed, untreated coral. Our Shop Gemistry price today, only $90. We have a limited number of these in sizes 5 through 10, and the item number is 946465.
I love the high polished silver on the shank of this ring. It's beautiful on the hand. It's comfortable on the hand. Look at this, the length underneath the finger. So you've got complete dexterity, movability, no problem. And it's just such a feminine look. As you said, 13 stones that are perfectly matched sitting across the top of the hand. And it even has a nice low profile. So just about 1/8 of an inch off the top of the finger, unlike the abalone ring that we showed, which was closer to 1/4 of an inch. I want to show you both colors on the hand. So there's the lighter version of that beautiful angel skin pink coral, and here is the deeper, darker version, and anywhere in between is the look that you're going to get. And just for fun, since we do have it coming up, I wanted you to see another item that you could consider if it's still in stock, which is also in that angel coral family.
Yeah, absolutely. We have some gemstones surrounding it and that beautiful beaded chain. It is a chain that, once again, that not only comes with your purchase, but has a 3-inch extender with a big lobster claw clasp. Coral is an amazing gemstone because it does come from a living organism. It's what we call an organic gem. Many of the reefs, the coral reefs in the world, are protected. In fact, one of the biggest protected national parks in the United States is where, off the coast of Hawaii, where all the coral reefs are protected. And this material that we have here, you know, much like ivory, when you think about ivory, how you can't really deal in living organisms for ivory. Same thing with coral. And this is material that we had from a stone collector that we met a while ago. And this is 40-year-old material of natural coral. So the reason I bring this up, we are proud of the prices that we're giving you. We're proud of that it's free shipping, free returns. In fact, not just free returns, you will have a return label included in your package. But the other thing is you have customer service all along the way. We have an 800 number. We have our own facility in New Jersey.
Yes.
That if you have any questions whatsoever, they're going to answer your questions. Or if you have something that you say that, oh, well, I have a stone I need to replace.
Sure.
That's who you call.
Or you decide that you want to have a ring sized, for instance, or you need an added length onto a necklace or a bracelet. So we really have tried to think of everything, and we want to be as customer-centric and customer-focused as we possibly can be. With that in mind, you can even reach out to us on either of our pages on Facebook. We're both on Instagram, we're both on Facebook, and we do a show, a live Facebook show every Sunday, and typically it's around noon Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific time. So we've rarely missed a weekend, but that's a great way to stay in touch with us because we want to know the stones that you're looking for, the designs that you're looking for. So if you love this one is that really pretty angel skin coral, 942832 for the pendant with the garnet and the white topaz. And the chain is included.
All right, here we go.
Hope you're enjoying the show so far.
You're watching Shop Gemistry with Paul and Judy, and you're going to be able to see shopgemistry.com to place your orders at the number at the bottom of your screen. But this is my pick of the hour. You know,
I wonder why.
You know, I love me some turquoise, and I think that we have done probably more turquoise in the last 30 years than maybe anybody walking the planet.
Well, and this is a very special one. Yeah. This is, of course, Kingman turquoise.
Yep.
Right out of the gate, I want to show you the size of this ring as you see the really beautiful etched scalloping in the sterling silver. This ring is 9/16 of an inch long, and it's actually about 7/8 of an inch wide. And I'm going a little bit beyond the beautiful oval peridots on the side. It fits like a dream. More importantly, though, look at the way those colors blend with one another.
So this is all completely mined in the USA, because what we have here is that spectacular big Kingman turquoise in the center of the setting. On either side, even more rare is to get your hands on some Arizona peridot. There's only one place in the world you can get that peridot. It's on an Indian reservation in Arizona called the San Carlos Indian Reservation. The town that mining takes place is called Peridot, Arizona. And you have to be of Native American descent to get anywhere near that mine or to mine in there. Otherwise, you spend some free days in jail.
Not fun, but we're talking about not teeny tiny peridot either.
No.
A completely natural, untreated gemstone that is always green. So in other words, there are categories. There are 7 different color categories into which gems fall. And one of them is green. One of them is kind of blue to violet. Another one is yellow to brown that includes your orange stones. There's a silver white category. There's an iridescent category. And in each of those color categories, some gemstones are always that color. Some are usually that color. And some are sometimes that color. So in peridot, it's always going to be, and of course that stone, the olivine, known to the gemologists as olivine, because of that beautiful olive flare. But you know, when you were talking about Arizona peridot, it is important to make that distinction because not all peridot is created equal.
No, not. And there's basically 3 main areas where you can get your peridot. One would be China, one would be India, and the third would be the United States. The United States is the most coveted because it's the rarest of them. There's not a lot of production that comes out. Once again, our Arizona peridot we don't usually get, but we found a parcel again from a stone collector that was willing to sell it to us. When this is gone, that's it. Now let's talk about the turquoise too, not to be outdone. This is an 11 by 9 millimeter of genuine Kingman turquoise. There's no color added. The color is completely natural. Now, one of the things that Judy and I will always tell you that not everybody does is what stabilization means as far as turquoise is concerned. Now, I don't know if it's better for you guys if I pour this out. Probably is, right?
Would you like to use one of my fancy little scarves?
No, because I'll get dust on it. This came straight from the mine.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. This is unstabilized turquoise. That's what it looks like when you take it out of the mine. Okay, now turquoise is a very porous mineral, so if you don't stabilize it, you will get something that's a little bit more fragile. Now this is what it looks like after it has been stabilized. Now what does stabilization mean? And again, we're probably the only people that consistently tell you this. About 98% of all the turquoise in the world is stabilized. What does that mean? Well, as I said, it's a porous mineral, and if you don't replace those pores with something, it's going to become brittle. It'll also absorb the oils and lotions from your skin and eventually darken. So what happens in the most cases with stabilizing turquoise, they take a small bit of colorless resin, they infuse it into the turquoise. It costs money to do that, and it takes a long time to do that, usually 30 to 45 days, and you pay so much per pound to do that. But what you get is a color that won't change, and you get a color that makes it something a little bit stronger. This is a piece of Kingman turquoise that has been stabilized. The other thing that you'll see what happens when you polish it, this is the reverse side. That's polished, that's what happens when you polish that. So that's what you see in the ring. Now what are those other colors in Judy's ring? When you're looking at the other colors in Judy's ring, that's called matrix. And that's what makes every single turquoise so unique. The last thing I want to tell you about turquoise, especially American turquoise. A lot of people think that America produces more turquoise than anybody else in the world. And it is probably the most coveted. You hear places like Sleeping Beauty turquoise, number 8 turquoise, Kingman turquoise. Actually, China produces the lion's share of the world's turquoise, probably 80 to 85%. America doesn't have the volume, but they have the cachet of really the best turquoise in the world. And Kingman, to me, is the most important turquoise mine operating in the world today. And Judy and I were one of, I think, only 3 people that were ever able to mine, to film in that mine.
Yes, and we know Marty and his son Josh intimately, if you will. We see them all the time at shows. We talk to them in between our shows. And we really have such a good relationship with him and he with us that when anything new comes out of the mines or there are special cuts that they have, we always get the phone call because it's nice to be able, and that's one of the things that we're able to offer you in this show is not only the 30 years of experience, knowing exactly how you want to shop and what you'd like to see as far as your customer service, as far as the details, as far as the measurements, as far as the fit is concerned. All of these things are what give you confidence and will in the future with Shop Gemistry with Paul and Judy.
You know what's the most amazing thing?
What's that?
I didn't give the price. And there's a reason that this is my pick of the show. Every single year, Judy and I go to a show in Tucson, Arizona, the Tucson Gem and Mineral Shows. And it takes over the whole town. If you were lucky enough, because you have to have credentials to go to most places in the show.
Yes.
So if you wanted to see Colbaugh Processing, and Marty Colbaugh, his son Josh, are the miners that are leasing the land that the turquoise comes from. If you were lucky enough to get just the 11 by 9 turquoise in a silver setting like this, wholesale,
Yeah.
for the price that I'm about to tell you, $57. The manufacturer suggested retail is $114.
It's insane.
But that's even if I said, take out the peridot.
Yeah, I know.
And now you add about 1.54 carats of peridot.
Yeah, over 1.5 carats of peridot.
Unbelievable
And those
to
are
get this for
7
this
by
price.
5s. So you've got distinct, very bold. It's almost like this silhouette, this frame, has so much longevity. I really think that it's kind of cross-generational. It would look as good on your 19-year-old daughter or granddaughter as it would if you're the lover of turquoise and you're buying it for yourself because you're looking for maybe a piece of Kingman that would look good with another piece of turquoise that your grandmother passed down to you. That's the beauty of turquoise too.
And not that you need another excuse.
No, for sure.
But it looks great on every skin tone. I don't say that about any other gemstone. Turquoise, I don't care what your complexion is. It looks great. It's great to wear with other gems that you have or other things in your wardrobe.
Well, you know, I was showing you the turquoise with the turquoise, and then even the lime green or olivine green with peridot. But look what happens when you put a color like coral with turquoise. It just makes that stone pop. So, point being, this is a very neutral, believe it or not, a very neutral stone.
For sure.
We wear diamonds with everything. If we have a diamond, we don't care what color or what pattern or where we're going, those diamond studs go with you. Well, turquoise has become one of those universally loved stones, and it really is because it's so easy to wear. It looks good on so many complexions, so many different generations, and with so many different colors.
And blue is the most popular color in the world. So guys, if you are in the doghouse, we know how that can be.
He's been there.
It's universally loved. No matter where in the world you take this poll, blue's the #1 color. But more importantly, birthstone for the month of December, but even more timely, birthstone for the month of August
Is the
for your
peridot,
peridot.
sure.
Peridot is also your 16th anniversary stone.
And the December birthstone of turquoise is the 11th anniversary stone.
You got it all covered.
Yeah, we can find any excuse for you that you need in order for you to feel justified
Now,
in making this purchase.
You either call the number on your screen right now,
which is a toll-free number.
or go to shopgemistry.com and they will help you place your order that way as well.
Absolutely, it's not a problem.
so
And
it's
just
really very
know
simple.
that the shipping is free
And
to
the
send it to
returns are
you,
free.
and it's risk-free because there is inside the bag, you'll see a return label. So if you change your mind, you can ship it back. Oh,
I'm sad. It's Paul's pick of the show. It's done.
all right, we're going to move on, but if there are any of these left, ask about the size that you need. You know, something that you might like to know as we're getting into yet another gemstone is how this comes packaged. Every single one of these pieces is going to be Shop Gemistry tried and true, and it will come in a beautiful box so that if you decide that you want to give it away as a gift, there's the box. It's magnetic on the front, so it's reusable as a little mini jewelry box. Inside that box is yet another bit of packaging, and that is a velveteen drawstring bag. So you should feel as special as if you actually went out and went to the jewelry store and you chose that special piece for that special someone. And these are definitely worth saving, as is the drawstring. Travel with your jewelry in those bags,
Yes,
so it'll keep
protect
them from scratching. But I just thought that was a nice little touch. It's a beautiful, beautiful symbol of our quality.
Now we back to Arizona. We're back to the Arizona mines in the San Carlos Indian Reservation. This is Arizona peridot in a pendant.
Yes.
Now,
And
this
just
is,
in case you bought this ring, look at how pretty it would be
goes
with
great.
the peridot.
Now this is a big deal. And I want you to listen very carefully to what I'm about to say about peridot. Well, first of all, I'm not going to wait so long to give you the price.
Okay.
How about that? Let's do that. 942-636 is the item number. and it's a manufacturer suggested retail value of $186. Your price is $93. Now, why does Paul say this is such a big deal? So we have cut, we have color, we have clarity, carat weight. Now, number one, I'm going to say this in every show that you ever watch me. Color is the single most important defining characteristic of a gem. It affects the quality, the rarity, and ultimately the price of that gem. But where does carat weight come in, and why is that important? Well, certain gemstones, and Arizona peridot is one of them, don't grow very large in nature. They just don't. So this is a 1.45 carat, almost a carat and a half solitaire in Arizona peridot by itself. I've seen the rough that comes out of the San Carlos Indian Reservation. They come in these almost boulders, and it's what we call little melly stones that are really, really small. So to get something that's even a quarter of a carat or a half of a carat is a big deal. But the problem with getting the bigger stones like this, your price per carat escalates exponentially.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how much the price goes up for a big stone like this. When we are sold out of these size stones, we have nothing left in the bank. We have nothing left to go to. So we have a limited number of you that will ever own this. It's 1 3/4 inches in length.
It's also about 3/4 of an inch wide, a little bit over an inch, which does include the bail. But I wanted to show you the chain and the way that it comes together for you as far as connecting. Because look at the size of the lobster claw clasp. This here is the extension. So this 3-inch extender gives you the ability to wear this necklace if you leave it on the chain. You can change out this pendant to any other chain that you love or any other length that you have. But at this point, you can adjust it with a large lobster claw from 18 inches out to a good 21 inches long. And when we're talking about the peridot, 1 and almost a half inches in just one stone, 80 points of white topaz that completely surround it. Oh, isn't that a beautiful shot? That really shows off the gleam, the fire, the fabulous color. And we've talked about the distinction between Arizona peridot and either Indian peridot or Chinese peridot. So when you can get something that's such good quality, it's going to change your mind about the way you feel about that August birthstone if you've always thought that peridot was not a stone for you. Maybe it was a little bit too yellowed, or maybe it was a little bit too dull or drab. One of the things I'd love for you to know as you're shopping with Shop Gemistry with Paul and Judy is the manufacturers themselves. They have control from top to bottom and bottom to top. So whether it's the gem cutters or the gem sorters or the gem sourcers that are bringing in the material, this is a manufacturer that's also known for $50 and $60 and $70 and $80,000 pieces. They put that same attention to detail and quality and setting and material in such a meticulous way that that's the kind of thing we're being able to pass on to you, despite these incredible prices and the free shipping and free returns.
Now, if you're just joining us, this is Paul and Judy with Shop Gemistry.
Judy Kroll and Paul Deasy. And if you didn't know, we do happen to be a couple in real life, not just on TV.
Really?
Yes. We're coming up on our 16th anniversary in the month of September.
The peridot anniversary.
Which happens to be the peridot that you celebrate the 16th anniversary with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of the things, we out of time? I forget. How much time do we have left, guys? Okay, then I'm not going to.
But we do have peridot coming
I'll
up.
talk about in the earrings.
Okay.
So what I want you to understand, it is more difficult and more expensive to mine in the United States of America than anywhere else on Earth. We know this. We have visited mines around the world. We've visited mines in the U.S. When we were at the Kingman mine, for example, if you got the turquoise ring just a little way back, it is...
Reminder how good that looks.
If we took our... First of all, they don't let anyone go film in that mine. And Marty Kolba told us that if they did a spot check, which they do all the time, and any of us didn't have our hard hat on, they would shut the mine down. So
Yeah, really
the fuel costs are just astronomical.
How
And
much was it a month just to have to replace the claw? 10,000, 100,000?
$100,000.
Because, and of course, equipment's breaking down all the time because they're working with such tough stone and material. So we have earrings that follow this beautifully, and we want to talk about those coming up.
Okay, shopgemistry.com. Get our biggest peridot stone is in that necklace.
So let's follow up with the earrings, because if you're in that market and really kind of intrigued now, your mouth is watering over that beautiful Arizona peridot. These are Arizona peridot and white topaz earrings, and they have a beautiful movement to them. They even have adornment of stones up on the top. And a lot of times when you're buying an earring that's a dangle, all the drama, all the beauty is below the earlobe. In this case, your earlobe gets a little bit of special treatment too, which I love. And I also want to show you, while you have that really nice close-up, the huge butterfly clutch backs. So many of our customers over the years have told us, just as I have experienced, stories of losing that little teeny butterfly clutch in the back, and of course you lose it in the shag carpet or in your scarf or in your outfit.
You hear when the vacuum's out, though.
Oh yeah, and that makes you cry. So we decided, and our manufacturer acquiesced and said, yeah, we hear that too. We're going to give you the big butterfly clutches. They not only are easy to hold, but they also help the earrings stay on the ear better, so that that design is sitting up against the earlobe. So that's something to keep in mind with these. Now we've got carat weights to give you and measurements to give you as well.
Okay, so first of all, the item number 944401. Manufacturer suggested retail price $195. Your shop Gemistry price $97.50. You have 3, yes, you heard me say 3 carats of that very rare Arizona peridot, mined in Peridot, Arizona. And then you have 0.8 of a carat of the white topaz from
Isn't that
Brazil.
pretty? I love the size of these. Very pretty on the face and flattering to any face shape as well.
Well, these are, again, I think the only entirely Arizona peridot earrings that we have in stock. So if you want to have something to match with your Kingman ring that had Kingman turquoise and Arizona peridot, these earrings are all we have. And I can't tell you enough, we have very, very little of the Arizona peridot stones, because this is from a parcel of stones from a vault from many, many years ago.
You know, and that's something we can take advantage of too when we're bringing you a lot of these pieces. Is even if we have a small amount, we can offer it to you. This is the time we can bring
this is the
out.
time. This is amethyst, and it is the birthstone for the month of February. Some of the greatest people in the world were born in February.
Yeah, if that February, I'll let you know who I can think of that was born in February. But you know, it's not just an amethyst. It is like, wow,
yeah.
Look at the size of that stone.
And it's a cushion cut, which is my favorite cut of all gemstones.
12 millimeters. So to your point about size and millimeters versus inches, look at the size of a 12 millimeter cushion cut stone. It is 3/8 of an inch long on the hand. And of course, 3/8 of an inch is the width of the stone, but the width of the ring on the top of your finger is probably about 3/4 of an inch.
And this is amethyst. This comes from Brazil. Judy and I had the pleasure of going down and filming in the mines of Brazil. It was such an eye-opening experience, because every time you think you've learned everything that you wanted to know about any gemstone, you get surprised. And the biggest surprise for me is that there are a lot of gems that are treated in some way, and they talk about amethyst can be treated. The truth of the matter is, most of the amethyst you see is not treated for color. Because here's what happens. We've been there. We've been to the mines.
Because it comes out looking like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that's amethyst right there.
Let me give everybody the item number and the price too, because I keep forgetting to do that.
Okay.
I have one job to do, and I mess it up.
You'll get it. You'll get it. This is your first show.
The first time I've ever done this. The item number is 929276. Is it, as Judy mentioned, 12 millimeter stone. It is a 3.55 carat solitaire in the amethyst, and has 5.93 grams of sterling silver. The price, only $51.
See, and this is where it definitely, the show makes you stop in your tracks. Because you said $51.
This is not costume.
No, this is genuine sterling silver. It is genuine amethyst that has come out of the ground. It has been analyzed. It has been cobbed. Cobbing in the world of gems means getting rid of all of the excess earth. So this has to be polished and cobbed, and not all pieces of amethyst are of the quality where you can cut a 12 millimeter size. Also, you have to analyze, the lapidary has that decision to make about what the cut is going to be. Not all material can be cut in rounds, not all material can be cut in hearts. But the cushion cut is one of those
Oh, it's amazing.
beautiful, beautiful cuts of stone that whether you like more masculine looking jewelry or more feminine looking jewelry, it really goes in so many settings.
Now, one of the things, this is a mini geode. What you're looking at that Judy was holding up is a mini geode. When you go into the mines, first of all, it's very awe-inspiring because you're walking, I would say, half a mile into the side of a hill. That actually goes down where they dig all of this material up. When they uncover the material, it looks like a gray geode from the back, okay?
Here's a picture of what we picked
geode,
up
yep.
in Tucson, and knowing that we were going to be doing this show, and I said to Paul, I want to buy one of those. First of all, it's a spectacular specimen. We love the stone, and it would be so pretty to put on our set. So that's also an amethyst geode as a perfect way to segue.
Now here's what happens. They go into this, we find it in the mountain, they see the geode, they drill a little hole in there, and then if they put a flashlight in, if the color looks good, no matter how big, some of these are 20 foot tall, they will dig it out by hand, and it weighs tons, and they will carry it to the factory to be processed. The color's already there.
Yeah.
If they don't love the color, what they do is they put blasting powder around it, and they explode it. So what happens when you explode a geode? The big pieces become small pieces, and those are the pieces that they will heat to hope to get citrine.
Yes.
But they don't treat for the amethyst.
No, because it's just so naturally beautiful. This is 3 carats, 55 points, not in a multitude of stones, not in a cluster of stones, in one single cushion cut, beautifully faceted stone. And even when you look at the design of this ring, and you'll see in a nice close-up right here,
perfect.
look at the shoulder of the ring and also that gorgeous cabling that's oxidized intentionally so you can see the detail, and it's a really nicely protected prong set stone. So keep in mind that this ring is something that we're being able to bring to you for $51, all genuine material, genuine sterling silver, no extra cost for the shipping. And even if you say, no, it's not what I thought it was going to be, it's way too big, you can send it back for free.
And you may want to inquire about our amethyst pendant.
Way too big, said no one. So let's get back to that angel skin coral, because this is one of the most sleek and sophisticated rings that
Absolutely.
I've ever seen. The silhouette in addition to the color.
And it's a big individual piece of coral. For those of you that have shopped for coral, sometimes you'll see things that are like really huge pieces and polished, and they're generally dyed from sponge coral, and they're compressed and dyed. Mm-hmm. That's not what this is. This is a very rare, natural, untreated coral. This would have come more from like the bamboo stalks that you see coral in. And again, this is not something that was ever disturbed in a living reef. This is very old material from like 40 years ago from an individual collector.
And we talk about that importantly because a lot of people get concerned, especially when it comes to anything that is endangered.
Sure.
And so there are even protected coral reserves off the coast of Australia, off the coast of California, just to keep the coral reefs from being over-harvested.
Let me give you the item number and price, because I didn't do that. I only have one job to do, Judy. And I'm not doing it well.
And well, keep practicing.
946-482 is the item number, and it's a retail price of $120. Your shopgemistry.com price is $60. Now, it's 100% natural, untreated. Sizes 5 through 10, if they're still available.
Just check with the operator. We can't guarantee the sizes, but just ask the operator or see what's online available.
It's a marquise cut east-west set, and it is 12 by 6 millimeter.
And don't you love the marquise? Most of the time when we see the marquise cut or marquis, they're both right, tomato, tomato, as far as pronunciation. Usually you see them going in the length of the direction of the finger. So, and when we're measuring with a ruler, I always give length as though you're going down the finger. So the length of this ring is just under 1/4 of an inch, and the width is 3/4 of an inch. And Paul always reminds me, okay, give them the profile too, so they can see, is it going to be a high ring or a low ring, low profile, really high profile, 1/4 of an inch tall. One of the things that I like about this one in the marquee is, yes, east-west set, but also bezel set. So there are no prongs
to catch
on anything that you may be wearing, whether it's stockings, pantyhose, or you're having a scarf, or you have a sweater, or anything that's crocheted, sometimes if it's not done correctly and carefully, it can catch and it can be frustrating, and then you won't wear it.
Right. And this is such a flattering color. There's just
It's
something
beautiful.
And I know that was it this year or last year where they came up with living coral
as the color of the year. Yes.
But it's amazing because when you see that, it just seems so natural. It seems so something that you're going to really enjoy wearing. And I can see you wearing this with a lot of other colors in your jewelry wardrobe as well.
Of course. Well, you know, even taking it to out of its territory of coral, let me put something that's a very bold, beautiful eggplant color. And you see what happens, the stone just jumps, pops. If you're sticking with coral colors of deeper tones, look at it with a deeper tone coral. These are the sorts of things that I like to show you because we all kind of go through when we're a couple of things. When you're buying your jewelry, you're either drawn to a silhouette or you're drawn to a color of a gemstone, being the most important optical property and decision that you're making in a gem. What draws you? But I think mentally we're also going through our wardrobes, even in an occasion type of thought process. What do I have coming up? Is there an anniversary? Is there a wedding I'm going to?
I think they need to understand what a flat Judy is, as long as you're talking about occasions that you're packing for.
Because well, you know the flat Stanleys? It's funny because, and maybe you're too young for that, but I know a lot of grandparents who used to take a flat Stanley kind of paper doll with them if they were going on a trip. And they would take pictures of them in front of the Eiffel Tower with flat Stanley, and then they would show their grandchildren how far around the world flat Stanley had traveled. Well, I started doing flat Judys when I would travel because I wanted to put outfits together and I needed to make sure I had the right shoes, the right jewelry piece, the right scarf, the right belt.
Understand what I had to go through because now I'm walking upstairs and
It's a mine shaft.
I see in her closet and on the floor these outfits with almost like Dorothy's shoes to one side, and I'm like, was this an alien invasion?
Who are all these people?
Did Judy get taken right out of her clothes?
One of my best friends, Emily, says, by the way, I'm getting ready to travel. I have all my flat Judys. She didn't even call them flat Emilys. They're like, that's the coin phrase, flat Judys. So, but if you're doing that mentally in your mind, where are you going? What are you taking with you? Perhaps this color is just one of those things that draws you. And it could be a stackable ring, too. It's so nice and narrow that you could put other things next to it.
Just to warn you, you're not just going to learn about gems when you watch Shop Gemistry with Paul and Judy. You're going to learn about these little secrets.
Way too much information, I'm sure. But we hope you're having fun with us. And we just want to make sure you realize that this is our home now, and we want it to be your home too. Yeah. We're involved in absolutely every single process, so you have us to blame if something goes wrong. But the idea is excellent quality, free shipping, free returns, customer service, 800 toll-free number. There's really no risk. We just want you to see the quality.
Can you find out what Judy's doing at no extra charge?
Flat Judy's. So we're going to switch gears again and move back into, we kind of jumped from the Kingman turquoise with the Arizona peridot in it, in the ring. We're going to go back to Kingman, Arizona, and show you some more turquoise. And this time, we paired it with blue topaz. So in this particular case, you have a pendant that comes with an 18-inch long sterling silver chain. It does have a 3-inch extender. I'm going to pull that around for you to see. That's what the extender looks like right there. And again, just like the huge backs that we put onto our stud earrings, we've given you a really nice, decent-sized lobster claw clasp. So it's much easier to manipulate.
Speaking of backs.
And speaking of backs, this is another one that you see how beautiful the finish is. I mean, it's like a stained glass window.
It's amazing, right?
Isn't that pretty?
You know, it's amazing. I love turquoise, and I'm like the biggest ambassador for American turquoise. I think Kingman is one of the most amazing mines we've ever visited. But to get turquoise, I used to be such a purist, it would be turquoise and that's it. What I found when I learned from you guys watching is that you love to dress up your turquoise with faceted stones. And we've done that in style because the blue on blue with the blue Brazilian blue topaz and the beautiful blue Kingman, natural Kingman turquoise.
It looks
is
so
gorgeous.
pretty.
And these are so great.
And this is 1.5 inches long, so you get a chance here to see the full beauty of that pendant. A gorgeous drop that's also 3/4 of an inch wide, actually more like 7/8 of an inch wide. And the size of that center stone, as Paul said, 14 by 10 millimeters in size.
I want to put this into perspective for you guys, because when we were out at the Kingman mine, here's what happens. You go out there and they have this big claw that's just clawing at the earth. And then when they unveil the color, we go in by hand with pickaxes, and anything about the size of your fist you drop into a bucket. You let everything else go. Then they take everything that you didn't put in the bucket and they put it in these piles, and they put it on a conveyor belt that goes through a lighted trailer, and they have people picking out the smaller pieces. Nothing that they're picking out of the smaller pieces could create a 14 by 10. This is very rare to get this size and larger, and it's not compressed. It's not something that they took dust and glued it back together. This is from a single piece of natural Kingman turquoise, which is amazing for this price. And then you add the blue topaz, win-win.
And we even capped it with a 4-millimeter round bezel set white topaz.
Nice.
So that's the kind of refined detail and very special attention to the specifics in a piece of jewelry that our manufacturer and we take such pride in doing. We didn't need to put a white topaz stone in a bezel setting that's just 4 points. But what a nice finishing touch. And so hopefully when you open this box, because you're going to get a Gemistry box that looks just like this, and that piece will come inside, and it comes inside even further, a black velveteen drawstring bag. You will feel, when you touch the piece of jewelry that you bought, exactly the quality that we're describing that you're going to get in every single piece of Shop Gemistry jewelry. And the easiest way to order is either with a toll-free 800 number or shopgemistry.com.
Free shipping, free returns.
And free returns. And it's so, you know, we're keeping up with the times because that's what people are expecting. A lot of times you'll find that if you're spending $50, you'll get the free shipping, or you're spending $49 free shipping. With us, regardless of what you spend,
that's right.
it's free shipping and free returns.
If you buy one, it's free shipping. If you buy two,
it's free shipping?
It's buy three.
As many as you buy.
You buy everything in the show?
That's
it's free
right.
shipping.
Let's go into the earrings that are the perfect match with the Kingman turquoise that coordinate in design and style, just a little bit less in size. This has over 1.5 carats of beautiful Swiss blue topaz that, by the way, was mined in Brazil. The blue topaz, and of course from Kingman, Arizona, mined in Arizona, the United States of America, that Kingman turquoise, that's a 10 by 8 millimeter in each ear. So just as with the white topaz stones or with the angel skin coral that we talked about, stone matching for size and color is just as important, and maybe even more so with more attention to all of the matrix in the Kingman turquoise, because you wouldn't want one that had more of that cocoa color and the other one that was all more blue. So even they have to match as bookends do.
But your turquoise will be very unique to you, because that's the beauty of matrix. Some of the most expensive turquoise in the world actually comes from Kingman, when they have like a bird's eye with black matrix or something like that. So it's just absolutely amazing to get this kind of price. So in the, what are you on, the earrings?
The earring?
Two 10 by 8 millimeter Kingman stones.
Right.
And it's only $90. Manufacturer's suggested retail, $180.
Yeah.
$90 today.
And 4 by 3 millimeter pairs, there are 4 of them in each ear. You probably saw with the measurement, my little 6.5 inch ruler, that these are 1.5 inches long. And then I notice a little fuzz right there on my ruler. I'll have to get that on in a second. But I'll use the other end to measure the width. So from the 6 inch mark over, you'll see they're about 3/4 of an inch wide. The other thing that's nice about these is that they're a lever back. So it's got a nice high polish finish in the front, nice size in the lever back, so it's easy to put on your ear. You're not scratching your earlobe to get it on.
Well, and it gives you movement.
Absolutely.
I always feel like even what you're wearing now with the Arizona Peridot, I always say that
Movement's so
movement
pretty.
or the illusion of movement and a gemstone is really important in design, because then it can catch the light and scatter it off those facets in many directions, and you get noticed.
Absolutely. Well, and it just dresses up anything that you decide to wear, too. So we just had one sample of them here, but I could kind of put them up, I guess, like this, and sort of show you the comparison of length.
Improvising.
Yeah, so if I put it right up here, you can see kind of the difference in the length of the peridot earrings that have the post versus the leverback earrings, just a little bit longer, 1.5 inches long. But they have that traditional, romantic, almost a cameo feel.
Je ne sais quoi.
Sort of. Sort of, kind of.
That's the only French I know.
And you can stop there.
Oh, well,
Omelette du fromage.
I tried to do that one too.
Yes, you like that one.
I
That's the way these shows are always going to go.
I did make an omelette du fromage the other morning.
You did? It was very good. You added some onions and tomato to it.
Yeah, I'm afraid to do the flip though. I know it ended up all over the kitchen.
I'm afraid for you to flip. Yes.
I know my strengths. I know my weaknesses.
Well, you know, and we're really due another trip. We need to give Marty a call. We're due another trip to Kingman so that we can do some more filming. And one of the things that our customers have loved about any of the shows that we've done throughout the years in the shopping channel industry, and if you missed the beginning of the show, I'm Judy Kroll, have been probably in this industry for 30 years. Paul DC, also in this industry for 30. This is how we met, and we are a couple in real life. I chose a sapphire as my engagement ring, just to kind of show off our love.
TV life and real life.
And real life. We play them on TV. But in this business, we've learned so much about being able to take you on the tour of where the gems come from, how to care for them, make sure that you, we don't recommend steam cleaning when it comes to our jewelry.
What do we recommend, Judy?
We love just basic, warm, soapy water, and then rinse it real well, pat it dry. That's all you need to do when you're cleaning this jewelry.
You said something else very important when you were talking about the boxes, and everything will come in a presentation box.
Yes.
If you ever heard of the Mohs scale of hardness, the way they came up with that, and it was Frederick Mohs, who is a mineralogist, and he came up with the test of hardness. And what it was is taking one gem and scratching another gem with it. So the number 1 would be talc, number 7 would be amethyst or quartz, and then number 9 would be sapphire, and then number 10 would be diamond. Mm-hmm. But it literally was what scratches another thing.
Yes, and the one to the next level up would scratch the one below it, but the one below it would not scratch the one above it. So that's how that was determined on the scale.
And so the reason, the lesson we can all learn from that, and this is very important, is take care of your jewelry. If you treat your jewelry with care and respect, it'll last you a lifetime.
Yes.
But if you're throwing them into a box where they can hit one another,
which we've all been guilty of doing, especially when you're in a
another
hurry or you're traveling. And I've gotten to where I'm so much better with it. But we like to pass that on to you too, just as a reminder that these are very, very, even though you're not spending a fortune on them because you're shopping with us, it's still something that you want to be able to enjoy forever. Nothing worse than losing a stone or scratching a stone. If anything should happen, we are going to be able to offer, with that 800 number that you see at the bottom of your screen, a wonderful customer service department, so they will be able to help you through all that. If you wanted to have a ring sized, you could call our customer service to have that done. So we're backing you up to make you feel like this is complete risk-free shopping.
We're your boutique.
We are. We are, right down to the way that we package it as you walk out the store, except you don't have to walk out of any place. It's just delivered right to your door.
And guess what? You don't even have to worry about the return, because there's a return label in case it wasn't your cup of tea.
Yeah, and you're not charged for that later.
Or maybe you don't even drink tea. I don't know.
It's still free returns.
And if you buy 3 of them, it's still free returns.
Still free returns.
We are wrapping up our first show.
Are you
hour
kidding?
of our first show. Guess what? Coming up in the next hour, however, don't go anywhere, because once again, everything in the next hour is also free returns. But we have a Larimar bracelet to die for.
Oh, I told Paul I have to have one of these.
Yeah.
I'm
So
not
we have
sending
one
back the sample.
We have one less than we thought, and we're also,
you can fight me for it.
We're gonna have some incredible lapis as well.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Stay with us.
Don't miss it.